thank you very much for joining us. We're gonna take a tour to see our sanctuary animals. So come with us because all our animals are waiting for you to see them. Our first animal here on our left, it's a kinkajou. All our animals are here in our rescue center because uh, something happened to them sadly and they cannot be released. In this case, our kinkajou just and they sleep during the day. So you cannot see them, but here at the rescue center, we deal with more than 400 injured animals every year. In this case, animals like this are here with us for several reasons. Most of them is because they got electrocuted, they got hit by cars, or attacked by dogs or cats. Some of them cannot be released. In this case, all our animals that we're gonna see are animals that after our veterinary care, for some reason they could not be released. So come with me and we'll show you even more of them. We are located in the North Pacific coast of Costa Rica. Common from this area, like for example, here on my right is the whistling dogs. As you can hear them, that's why they crawl like that. These guys were kept as illegal pets, so now they cannot be released back into the wild. We also have some common dogs that in this case, this guy suffered from arthritis and his family didn't want him anymore. So we keep him here with us for the rest of his life, happy in our sanctuary enclosures. Here on this side, we have our parrots. These guys were also kept as illegal pets. These are called yellow-napped parrots. Very common parrot to keep in Latin America and most of the world. These guys, once they get used to people, it's very difficult for us to rehabilitate them back into the wild. So in this case, they will look for people if we try to release them. So we will keep them here safe, people. If you have any questions, please let us know in the comments. Feel free to ask anything you guys want. On this other side, we have one of our most colorful animals we have here. Probably you guys already know them. These are called scarlet macaws. Very common in Costa Rica. Very beautiful animal. These guys also were kept as illegal pets.
Hi, doctor. We have a question actually
Yes.
from HSHS. How many birds we have here in Sanctuary?
How many birds?
Mm-hmm.
We have here at the moment 9 species of birds also. And from that, like one of these ones that we are about to see, this is a Pacific screech owl. As you can see, these guys also are nocturnal, so at this moment this guy is sleeping. You can see his wing. Sadly, he was caught on a barbed wire fence and injured his wing very badly. We were able to save the wing, but unfortunately for him, he will stay with us because he cannot fly appropriately as he could. He's been one of our oldest animals in here. He's been with us for almost 4 years now. Here on this other side, we have another yellow-napped parrot that you guys might ask, but why he's not with the rest? Usually, these guys are sometimes very aggressive between them, so we cannot keep them together because in this case, they can be very aggressive between them. So for us to be able to give the best care for them, sometimes we have to keep them separated, even if it's from the same species. Here in our sanctuary and rescue center, we are 17 people taking care of more than 80 animals at this very moment. During the high season, that is from January to April, we receive more animals, even more than 100 animals at the same time into our care. Like for example, this one here on this side, it's a Kill Bill Toucan. Let's see if we can spot him. This is the second largest toucan in Costa Rica. As you can see, hopefully, his bright colors and the beak is what makes him his distinctive characteristics. He is not from this area where we are right now. Remember that we're in the North Pacific of Costa Rica, and here in our area, this guy is not from here. So why is he here with us? In this case, he was also an illegal pet that somebody just let him go here, and because it's very difficult for them to find food in this area, he was looking to get inside of people's houses to find food. So they called us, we rescued him, and now we can give him the proper care he needs with the proper diet also. See, our first group of howler monkeys. This is the species that we receive mostly our rescue center. These guys arrive here with us for being illegal pets. Most of the howler monkeys we receive into our care in our rescue center is because they get electrocuted on unsafe power lines. Sadly, it's a very common problem in Costa Rica that we're trying to work with the government agencies and electricity companies to try to fix, so we can save as much as howlers as we can. But this is a very, very difficult problem to fix and a very dangerous one, because more than 100 monkeys are electrocuted in just our area. There are a lot more that got injured everywhere in Costa Rica. Let's keep going. As you can see, we are deep in the forest. Well, we were able to build our rescue center, everything, so we can find. All our animals have 24/7 care. There's always people here. We're always answer to emergencies. So if you're ever in Costa Rica in our area and you see an injured animal, call us. Here on this side, we have our second howler monkey. His name is Ronnie. Unfortunately, like I mentioned before, he was electrocuted on unsafe power lines and he has a severe injury in his face. Sadly, this happened almost 6 years ago, and after a long rehabilitation, he was not able to be released due to his injuries, so he was kept here with us. Such as I mentioned before with the parrots, howler monkeys are very territorial and very aggressive between them. So that's why we cannot keep a lot of males together, because they can attack each other and be very, very aggressive between them. On this other side, you guys can see our wide-nosed coati, a very common species found all over Costa Rica. They like to sleep a lot. Like in this case, Malachi, that's her name. He's just sleeping up there on her platform. Unfortunately, she's here with us because she was hit by a motor vehicle. Sadly, she lost her eyesight. She's completely blind, but she lives perfectly and plays along her enclosure and eats very well on her own. So luckily, we were able to give her this chance to be with us here.
Just to clarify, HSH, that's a coati or a pisote in Spanish.
Here where we are right now, it's a property that along working with the Nosara Civic Association, we work together on this area to provide this. This area right now is 2 hectares big, so it gives us a lot of space for our animals to be able to have a calm and a good place to heal their wounds and eventually be able to release. Here on our other side, we have our third howler monkey. His name is Eric. He also had a severe injury on his head, so he was not able to be released. He's able to live his life as doing everything he can, but due to his injuries, he was not able to go back to the wild, unfortunately.
We have a question from Finn. How many howlers are in the center?
How many howlers? At this moment in our sanctuary, we only have 6 howlers, but in the entire rescue center, we have over 40 howler monkeys right now. It's half of our population, and as you guys can see, this is the species that we receive the most. They suffer a lot, and that's why we make our goal to be able to help howler monkeys and all the wildlife in Costa Rica because they need our help. They're suffering a lot, and that's why at the very moment we have more than 40 howler monkeys right now with us. Let's go. We have more animals to see. As I mentioned, we kept some of our howler monkeys separate for a reason. They can be very aggressive between them. In this case, on this other side, we have Fran. He was found with a very severe fracture in his arm. Sadly, he lost his arm and he was not able to keep up with the rest of his troop. So unfortunately, he has to stay here. But we cannot keep him with other males remember what I mentioned, that they can be very aggressive between them. Eventually, we can try to socialize them, but it's not very easy with this kind of species. We have to be extremely careful.
Doctor, we have a question from 10 Ford 89. Why
Yes.
do so many howlers come into your care?
These howlers come with us for several reasons. The main and most important one is electrocutions on unsafe power lines. We also get howler monkeys from illegal pet trade, howler monkeys that were hit by cars, and howler monkeys attacked by dogs that are when the monkeys go on the ground. And you might ask, why are the monkeys on the ground? They should be up there on the trees. There's a huge development going on right now here in Costa Rica, especially in rural areas like Nosara, where we are. This brings a lot of tree cutting to be able to develop hotels, houses, and stores. So this brings the lack of habitat, the loss of their habitat brings the monkeys to the ground, and that's where they cannot find a way to cross the street, and that's when they get also attacked by dogs, or because they don't have a way to crawl, they go through the power lines, and that's why they get electrocuted. So yeah, every single year, more and more howlers come into our care due to all of these problems because of the increasing of development. And here on this side, we reach to our final enclosure. As you can see, our sanctuary is small. Our main focus is to be able to release back animals into the wild once they're safe. In this enclosure, let's see if we can spot, we have one red-fronted parrot and an orange-fronted parakeet. That also they were victims of pet trade. They like to hide between the leaves, and they're sometimes a little bit tough to see. This way. You can see them all the way here.
Modest K asks, do you have any toucans in the enclosure?
Yes, we do have a toucan in here with us. A Kill Bill toucan is one of our enclosures that we passed before. But yes, here in this area, it's not common to have toucans. So this guy was from an illegal pet trade, because we only have smaller species of toucans that are called aracaris. These are the local inhabitants of this area, but toucans, they're not from this area of the country, but we do have one that was from illegal pet trade. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us on our walk around our sanctuary. Remember that all of these animals are taken care from all the donors like you seeing us right now that help us take care of all these animals. So if you ever are in Costa Rica, in the Nosara area, just give us a call, book your tour, because all of this help is what we need. It's everything that we need to be able to keep this going and to be able to help as much animals as we can. So again, thank you very much for joining us, and feel free to come around and say hello to us and all our animals in Costa Rica. Thank you very much. Pura vida.